My name is Avishek Chatterjee and I am residing currently in Kolkata. I didn't appear for the GRE at all. What I appeared for was basically the IELTS actually. The reason for that was basically while I was working actually, and I would actually like to tell this to all the people who are working currently or like people who are into undergraduate stuff actually. If you're recording this, that the thing is like once you join working, especially in IT industry, it is very difficult to manage between, the MS, like any kind of GATE preparation or GRE, any kind of preparation, and when work 9 to 10 hours in office, it's really very hard to balance it. So I took some classes like for GRE, but what I was continuously seeing from my admission, from the mock tests actually, that my score was not exactly going, say, above 310, 312, okay. Even when I probably gave, say, 5, 6 actually mocks. So, and the more and more, I have a lot of pressure in my company actually, used to have. At that point of time, one of my teachers actually, when I was actually taking classes, I was taking classes in Jamboree actually, at that point of time. From there actually, one of my teachers, very good teachers in English, she kind of suggested me at that point of time that, you should first give the IELTS since your English is very good. My English is very strong actually, so in every kind of way. So, that's why, he mentioned that you should give your IELTS exam or you can give a TOEFL. So I decided to go for the IELTS because anyway, I was opting for something that's much more. I was opting for a course that was very you can say it's very rare in nature actually, which was not available everywhere. And since the fact is if you want to skip GRE actually, you have to give IELTS. That was the basic plan. So I gave the IELTS. I scored a very good score actually. I got an 8 actually overall. Overall 8 scores. So I was pretty happy about it. And from there on actually, I said, what are the colleges, what are the universities? Since I cannot make time for, I know that 310 is a decent score, but I always wanted to aspire into the universities. So one of the, the best universities for that particular course. Say New York, I'm currently actually trying for integrated digital media actually, the media technology courses actually, kind of have the balance of art and technology because I have been a part-time artist actually and a graphic designer too along with being a computer engineer actually, okay. So I always wanted to keep balance between the two. So I had to specifically choose some specific universities all over the world actually, not just go for all the, just computer science or the art colleges actually, I couldn't have done that. I already have from the top 30 universities in the world actually, I already have 3 admits from the top 30 universities, top 30 or 40 universities in the world actually. Yeah, it's in New York University. I've got into MSc in Integrated Digital Media. I've got into University of Edinburgh in UK. You know that. And that also in MSc in Design and Digital Media. And I've got into Utrecht University. That's in Netherlands. That's also a very good university in Netherlands. It's ranked about 38 or something. I don't know. Something in the top 40, 50. It's in Netherlands. I've got in a course called MSc in Game and Media Technology actually. Mostly all the courses actually, the names are a bit different with digital media, media technology, but the basic idea is still the same. Okay, so it's basically, it's a very rare course actually, but that's why I had to be very specific about what I was doing actually. Then my main target at that point of time was not the GRE. So once I decided to never give the GRE because I was not able to make enough time. And I was not able to, get the score, push the score of 320, 25, 30, in my box actually, because which I was able to do in my IELTS exam. I was able to push to 8, 8.5, that's why I could actually get. Because I just want to say one thing that whenever somebody is giving the mocks for the IELTS or TOEFL or whatever it is, whatever you actually, get in the mocks actually, you can actually more or less a plus 0.2 -2 of that basically will actually come around to that only. It doesn't make much of a difference. Yeah, I have seen personally. Whatever the mocks actually you give, people should actually reflect on what they get. It's not much of a difference from what they will get in the actual exams. Sometimes what used to happen in our childhood or something was, we used to get something, in our school life, what we used to happen, or in our college life, like what used to happen was like, we used to get a certain score, and then in the finals we'll get a much bigger score, much higher score. But I have seen in this kind of exams, bigger exams, it really doesn't happen, because the maximum, the difference is probably +5, -5. It's that close. So yeah, it doesn't make a difference. My biggest plus was SOP actually, because I knew I could really write, and the biggest thing of writing an SOP is actually you have to really know how to construct a story, but at the same time be very realistic about what you're saying. And the SOP should always, one of my professors in my college actually helped me out. So she was also a student from Stanford University, so she actually helped me out with this, and she was telling me actually the way of constructing an SOP is actually, suppose like if there are 5 paragraphs in your SOP, the first paragraph should actually have an ending that should connect with the second paragraph's first line. So basically it should be a holistic approach of how you approach the SOP actually. And basically my entire focus was that time. So I spent I think about 2.5 months, 3 months on that exactly, just to make a very good SOP, because I had a very strong SOP actually, which and plus the scores. But mainly, if you have a really strong SOP, even if the scores are a bit lower or something, I got so. I'll share a small experience with you. Even though I had a pretty good score in my undergraduate actually, there was one course particular, graphics actually. The thing that I'm really good at, I actually suffered a setback on that because I had an accident at my. What I did was, I was very honest about it in my admissions actually. I mentioned in my SOP in one line that I actually suffered an accident, so I got a low score in that, but ended up managing a better score, on the lab exams and everything. So, you always need to say the honest thing, but at the same time, just sugarcoat it in a very positive manner, how you came back from it actually. So, I think those kind of things actually, those kind of things people miss out, the small things, but it's in the bigger run actually it matters actually. Yeah, I think it's a good initiative actually. People are using this platform to, help, inspire others actually, so share their journeys of what the people who has come before me or in the past who has done that. So, it's similar, like you said actually a while back, whoever actually comes before you actually has already gone through that particular path into that particular university or, the line they have taken. Suppose somebody wants to go through that particular line to mirror that particular, it becomes a lot easier for them. Really depends on what your exactly goals are. But the biggest, I think, my biggest advice to all the aspirants would be just be yourself actually, because a lot of people I have seen, I won't name actually the person I know actually. I have known a lot of people like this. What they sometimes do is they focus more on getting a job. Your focus should be on the course itself. Your focus should be on actually, doing something that you love actually, because I'm doing this course because I could have just gone for a hardcore computer science course. But why didn't go for this hardcore computer science course was basically that I wanted to keep a balance between my artistic line and my technological line. I thought that my artistic side was dying actually because I was not in touch with it. So this course, I know that I'll be once again in touch with those things. It is my roots actually. I cannot just throw it away. But at the same time, I cannot throw away whatever I have learned. So I need to strike a balance between the two. So that's why you should know what you're doing exactly. You should not get a degree in US, Canada, UK, whatever part of the world, just because you want to earn in the dollars or pounds or euros or whatever it is to, get a job actually. That should not be the approach. Personally, that should not be the approach. Many people do that because, they just want to get a degree to work, suppose in the big, Google, Facebook and all these companies, but that should be the approach because the skills, whatever you develop actually, this passion, the skills if you have and if you're yourself actually, at the skills as a passion, these things automatically become a byproduct. Like the jobs and, the opportunities you get in different fields, those become a byproduct of your skills, actually, of your personality. So I think people should focus more on the personality and being yourself, actually, on the passion, on what you exactly love, actually. Because most people in India, I'll not be shy enough to tell this, because most people in India, actually, I've seen from all my peer group, actually, they'll settle for less, actually. They'll settle for less because they want something very safe. But life is not very safe, honestly. It's always full of risks and rewards. At the same time, you always need to take calculated risks, that is true, but you can't always play it safe, I feel. Absolutely. Like, there should be a measure of caution, but at the same time, friends I know, like, they just want to do a computer science course, like I said, actually, because they want to earn in dollars. Yeah, so because this is the mentality normally Indians have, and I can't blame them because that's how we are brought up. That should not be the plan when you go abroad, because it's a lot different there. You have to be committed to what you're doing. You have to be really committed, basically. Pass out, it's not a big deal, but ultimately what happens in a course of, say, 2-3 years is basically you again get bored, you again get frustrated, actually. You're doing whatever. So basically, you might earn in dollars, but eventually, you're living kind of like the same life what you used to back in India. So I don't think people are actually going for that. So, yeah, I just think that, and people should focus more on the SOP, actually, rather than, on whatever scores, there's many people actually, they can have a 7-point, they can have an IELTS score of 6.57. It doesn't matter. If you really focus on the SOP, if you really show your true color in the SOP, I think you can make a difference. That's probably the biggest, actually. Like, that carries the 50-60% of the weightage. That's most